Hey Reno High, how's it going? My name is Nathaniel Haas. I'm lucky enough to have been born and raised in Reno and graduated from Reno High in 2012. I'm a practicing attorney now. I just got off another one of my daily Zoom calls, and so while I'm still dressed up and thinking about this pandemic, I thought now might be as good a time as any to share some thoughts about it. And I thought about really three things, some of them good and some of them bad, that we can take away from what's been just a absolutely astounding year. I think number one, it's important, and something that I've really done to help me is to have a routine. And I'm not talking about some sort of regimented, totally scheduled day. Something as simple as going on a walk every morning, or setting a few days a week to cook dinner, to cook a particular type of dinner, um, and just getting in a daily habit that gives the days meaning, because we've all been spending so much time at home. I think, at least me especially, the time just kind of seems to bleed by, and a routine has really helped me think about that. On the bright side, though, I think this strange time has brought people closer together. In a couple of different ways. Number one, at least my family, many of whom are on the East Coast, we've had regular Zoom calls with more frequency than I remember connecting with that part of my family, even in non-COVID times. And so it's been a joy to get on Zoom with aunts and uncles and grandparents and cousins that before the pandemic I would only see at our family reunion once a year, and now I've gotten to see every couple of weeks. I also think that it's caused us to really value the quality time that we have with people. And when we actually do get together in person, I think that time has become a lot more meaningful. And in particular, I remember one of my big problems, and I observe a lot of people in my generation, is before the pandemic, especially, a lot of people be on their phones, for instance, when they were hanging out at restaurants or having a drink, or just getting together as friends. And now I think we've realized how precious that time is, and how when we do get together, the quality of that interaction really matters. And so I encourage people to continue to do that, to be more present when you're with your friends. And I think that that's something that I've taken and really enjoyed. The third thing I want to share is kind of a more ephemeral lesson, I guess, from the pandemic, but it's pretty simple. Don't take life for granted. Things are going to get back to normal, hopefully pretty soon, with the COVID vaccine. And when they do, I think that don't let what you've thought about during the past year just sort of become an afterthought. And what I mean by that is, don't be afraid to take the trip that you've been wanting to take. Ask out the person you've been wanting to ask out, or even something as simple as just learning the hobby that you've been putting off. Because if there's one thing this pandemic has taught us, is that life is brutally short and tomorrow's not guaranteed. And in just the blink of an eye, life as we know it can come crashing to a halt. And indeed, last March, that's exactly what took place. I was talking to my grandpa on the phone the other day. He's 97 years old now, and he was reflecting on his life and the pandemic. And one thing he told me that stuck with me is, he said, "Nathaniel, when you're my age, your life expectancy is midnight." And there's a poem that he loves to quote where he says, "Yesterday is history, tomorrow is out of sight." And I've been thinking about that a lot lately. And I know that when this pandemic is over, and that life has gone back to normal, I'm not going to take any more days for granted. And I'm certainly going to embrace life and live it a little more fully than I did before. And so I'd encourage everyone to do that. And I thank you guys for the opportunity to make this video. I hope that you can reflect on it, and I hope that the Reno High community stays strong. And I'm just lucky to have been a graduate of Reno High School. So have a good day, everybody.